So we're sitting on the subway, the three, me and Brendan, and it's one of those trains where we got, it's the old school one. So there's the bench that we're on, then there's the one facing perpendicular, and then it goes back to the other thing, right? So him and I are sitting here directly across from us, and one perpendicular thing over is a guy who's blasting music on his speakerphone.
Cool.
And so I'm talking to Brendan. Brendan's talking about society. We get on this whole thing, and then I go, isn't it crazy that anybody who puts their speakerphone volume on like that is openly saying to everyone in New York City, I'm looking for a confrontation. The only people who play it loudly with no regard for other people are people that want you to go up to them and go, hey, can you turn that down, so that they can go, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
What do you
problem, nobody
right?
is like, oh, I didn't consider it.
Yeah,
wow.
It's all like, and they play it loudly and then kind of look around to be like, oh, does anybody have a problem with this?
Eye.
Yeah. So we're doing that, and I start talking about how, so rude, incredibly rude, and Sagalow's agreeing and stuff. And then I say, which was crazy, to just say, knowing all of this that I do, the information, I have the end of the story, you see. I go, it is crazy that of people that we travel into the city so much, and we are around so many crazy people, that more crazy things don't happen in our day-to-day travels, that we are not more exposed to more violent lunatics.
Yeah.
I say all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? Not 4 seconds later, the person that is sitting across from me leans in and starts talking to the woman next to Sagalow, who's looking out the window, and he just goes, hey, I bet you sucked a dick before. Hey, did you ever suck a dick before? Hey, miss, how many dicks have you ever sucked before? I bet you sucked 50 dicks before in your life. I bet you sucked 50 fucking dicks in your life, you dirty fucking scam. Starts like screaming at this woman, right? So we're all going, uh-oh, he's screaming at it. And then he starts like getting, and to describe, he was like a taller dude, but he was like Middle Eastern, for sure looked like a full-blown schizophrenic, right?
Yeah.
So now he's like yelling at her. He's getting so aggressive and point this at her, and Brendan and I are going, what do we do? And everyone's watching on the train. He's still doing it, and then Brendan, to his credit, steps up. He's the first person on the entire train to say something, and he just goes, hey man, take it easy. And then,
what, did he hear that in a Swayze movie once?
Yeah, he goes, hey man, take it easy. And the guy goes,
fuck you, miss.
Yeah.
Take your lesbian ass down to the other side of the train.
Yeah.
And it's like, I will.
Yeah, and
I'll write a rap about this.
Yeah, and I was trying to see if there was an exact quote that I wrote down. But so he goes, yeah. So he has this, he says the thing, he screams. Immediately the guy goes back to Brendan, starts calling him hard F words, and is like, and now Brendan, he goes from stepping in, being a good guy, to just taking it to a level that could raise tensions immediately.
Oh, good. Brendan decided this was his therapy moment where he needed to defend himself.
He has his iced coffee, and he's very calm. He has his iced coffee. He's swirling his iced coffee holding it from the top of
I love
He's
that.
just holding the lid, swirling the bottom of his
so he
ice.
can still fucking punch him if he just wants to drop and hit.
So yeah,
I love it.
He's swirling his iced coffee, and he goes, what are you going to do? Literally says, what are you going to do to the guy? While Brendan and I are sitting there both holding iced coffees. Now, in my mind, what's going on, I'm trying to figure out 4 steps ahead where this immediately becomes
You
violent.
have one arm.
That's my problem, dude. I'm sitting there going, I can't fucking do anything. I can't even cock back to punch, let alone punch. And all I could do is come in lefty, which I can get maybe one shot, and I got to have it perfect. And it's like, I can't grab him. I can't even subdue him on the ground. The only thing I could do is kick him once he gets on the ground already.
The fuck out of him.
So I start looking at other people on the subway. I'm making eye contact with a couple other guys and stuff. This guy is screaming at Brendan, but then immediately fixates back to her, and he starts screaming at her again, right? So
she's still sitting there?
Yeah, she can't. She's literally like against a thing, and he goes, it's because you didn't
that
fucking.
Very victim blaming.
Yeah. Very poor.
I mean, just get up and leave.
No. And that's the other thing. We're in between subway stops too, so it's like that kind of. And she goes, he starts going to her, it's because you didn't let me, I made one comment. I made one comment on your Instagram. One fucking comment. And this is how you're going to fucking treat me. And then people were being like, hey, and all that stuff. And then Brendan goes up to her, because she's right next to him, and he goes, do you know who this guy is? And she goes, I have fucking no clue. So this guy, again, is on another planet, thinks she's some enemy of his, and is like very locked in. He's like, you better hope we don't get off at the same subway stop. You better hope I'm going to hurt you physically. Like, this is dude, he's saying that, in a way that everybody on the subway is freaking, that we're all in this thing of, if he makes...
How big is this guy? Like, I want to, because I want to talk trash accurately.
Okay, I'm saying he's probably 6'3".
Okay.
Very, very barely bigger than me. He's probably at about 75 pounds on me, I'd say. He was like
God damn it.
like a bigger...
That's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 50 pounds on me, but it was a lot. And he was like he just looked like a bigger guy. He was like thick, but not ripped, but just kind of like, like...
Thick.
Yeah.
A lot
thick.
to move.
Yes, right?
A big sofa to fit in your apartment.
So now we're terrified, man. And this is when I say my only thing of the entire engagement. I just go, let's calm down. I come in with that. I come in with a let's calm down, which, if you can believe it, didn't work.
Oh, that's odd.
Yeah.
Did it flame the situation?
Everybody is screaming. He's screaming at everybody, and he's screaming at this woman. He's saying very vulgar, horrific things to her. And we're all doing that thing where we go, something's going to have to happen. Now, right as that moment's happening, he's also got a basketball. He's holding a basketball.
Oh, so he's like, a bomb.
He looked like he played he was like a center. He had like center build, He had like something. So he has
this sucks.
Yeah, dude, it sucks. And
but no, it would have been an awesome move, because this is an underrated thing with a basketball, is you actually uppercut the ball and it acts as two punches. So it's like a ball in the face, combobulation, and then you just fucking tune up his ribs.
Yeah. So as this moment of tension is happening, and I'm just looking out the corner of my eye to see how far away we are from the subway station. And it's like the longest stop in Queens between the two. So we, right in this moment of tension, somebody from down the car, a woman from the other side of the car, goes, "Shut up!" Like that.
Okay.
Didn't help.
Weird.
He spiked the ball on the ground, and he goes, "Who the fuck said that? Who the fuck said that?" He walks down the train. Now he rips his shirt off.
Oh, dude, Andrew Yang was all wrong.
He rips his shirt off, spikes his shirt on the ground, and goes, "Who the fuck said that? Who the fuck said that?" And this woman eventually was like, "I said it." And he was like, "I'm going to fuck you up." And he was like, "I'm going to kick the fucking shit out of you." He goes, "Stand up." He's like ready. He's like trying to square off. And there's a guy sitting next to her.
Is this a packed train? How many people are we talking?
It's a train that it's not packed enough because every single person has a seat.
Okay.
There's nobody standing. So there's
what's the layout? Sorry, I'm just trying to paint a picture and also understand your options.
There's probably 30 people.
Is there another dude who is even comparable in size?
That is what the calm of it was, is that everybody was witnessing what was going on. Everyone knew what was happening, and everybody kind of knew in any moment that the violence breaks out, this is going to turn into a United 93, and we're all going to fucking jump on the guy.
Literally.
It was all, like I don't know how to describe it otherwise, that we all kind of shared this look like, when something goes down, we're all going to get this guy, you know? Yeah. And so the same thing was that he's screaming, he's yelling at this person. Now, another woman who is probably in her 60s comes over and just distracts the guy and goes, "Hey, sir."
Shakes her keys in his face.
She's Jurassic Park. She rips a flare.
Hey.
So she goes, "Sir. She goes, "Your ball. You forgot your basketball." And he was like, "What?" He's like fucking like screaming. And now we're pulling into the station. And he's like talking about, he goes, "Don't fucking touch my basketball." And she's like, "I'm not touching it. It's just right there. I don't want you to forget it." And then he like picks it up and he goes back to scream at this woman. The door is open. The older woman sticks her head out the car and's like, "Police!" So yells like olive oil to Popeye.
Yeah.
And thank God, because there were like there's more police presence now in the subway stations the last couple weeks.
They just come on the train, just unload their clips in them.
Yeah,
they didn't even see what happened.
They shoot the old woman. But
They're like, sorry, we're out of practice.
So no, there was like 4 police officers on the Queensboro Plaza subway station.
Mm-hmm.
And we go, they come running in immediately.
Yeah.
First, he sat down. He tried to like sit down next to people
to be a good little boy,
to blend in. No, to like blend in.
That
with
is
the crowd.
hilarious. Kindergarten shit is like throwing chalk or whatever in the teacher's coffee.
Yeah.
She turns back around, then you sit there and you're like,
yeah. No, he was trying to just kind of be like, if no one will see me, and then. Once they came on the train, he like ran off the train, and then once that happened, now the doors just stayed open for a while. We're all like consoling this woman who is so shaken up. The first woman who was getting like screamed at. She was like so just she's literally shaking. And then they come and the police come and they go, "You gotta we gotta have you come off the train because you're the victim of the crime. So we need to get your thing."
So we need to traumatize you for another 90 minutes.
That was the worst part. Is I was like, you were just on your way to work or wherever you were going. Then you get like almost assulted. You have to deal with the trauma of that, and now you have to be late. And you're like, which sucks even more. Fill out a report. It's like,
then you have to tell everybody the story.
This is your whole day all over again. And
weirdly enough, I spent this morning getting called a whore by Jafar on the N train.
and then when we start driving away, they're talking to him, and he's just holding his basketball, but he's like not in cuffs, which I understand. They're like, I guess they just can't go cuffing people immediately. But when a whole train full of people, I'm like, he's got the strength that he'll just shove you guys onto the tracks. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you gotta subdue this guy a little bit if people are screaming that this guy is, a danger,
Violently threatening
and he
people.
also seemed like very he was wearing those very, very erratic, very big sweatpants where you're like, does he have a box cutter? I don't know what the fuck he's got. Like, it's fucking terrifying. So, and the older woman stayed on the train, and we were talking to her, and she said that she was I said, good job distracting him with the thing. And she was like, I used to teach kindergarten. She's like, so I just use that technique of like when someone's like, having like a temper tantrum, and you just can distract a child and just kind of like momentarily distract the thing. And so she had such a good tone of being like, right, no, I'm on your side, but your balls don't. I want you to forget it.
I literally do that with crew. I was gonna say that in the middle of it, but I didn't. But now I'll pretend to have.
But it was, dude, it was just so weirdly, it was terrifying. It was, I felt so bad that, that happened to that woman. It was crazy that it was the second after I said, isn't it wild that we don't run into more crazy people? As if he was just a sleeper cell, like, activate. Unreal.
You want to make your Irish goodbye.